All right, so if you're just looking for the tutorial, then just follow time frame in the description or on screen. Hey everyone, Random here, and today I'm going to be doing the Ultimate Phase by Andromeda. Now, this is an old Extreme Demon Mega Collab, and it's a very popular one as well. This is around 1.9 update, around there. So in this video, I'm going to be completing this level and actually trying to beat it. I've been practicing it for a pretty long while now, and I think I can do it, and I think it'll be fun. But not only do I want to make a video completing it, but I also want to make a video just as a guide for people who are trying to beat this level. The reason why I want to do that is because a few years ago, this level received a buff date. So, from what I can tell, there's not a lot of tutorials or any at all for the new version of this level. And this new version of the level is a little bit harder than the previous version. And I want to make a tutorial for you guys for, just for anyone trying to beat it. And I think it'll be cool. All right, so to start the tutorial, what I'm also going to be doing is I'm also going to be enabling speed hack first because this makes it easier to explain. So I'll be putting that on, and then I'll also, after I'm done explaining, I'll also show the part that I'm referring to, in normal speed, so you can see it there yourself. All right, so for this first part, there's not really much to say. All I could really recommend is just kind of like remembering what parts to jump over and what parts not to like click. For example, there's a spike in that middle pillar that you do not want to hit. Make sure you do not hit that spike, so you want to jump over it as this. So one other thing I want to know about that part is you want to make sure that you are like early enough to not hit that top spike right here. That spike there, if you go too late, you will hit it and you will die. So you just want to make sure you jump properly there. This rest is just kind of memorization and like just kind of normal like times. So yeah, just make sure you're doing that properly. See there? That's what happens if you do that too late. So click that orb, click here, skip that orb, hit that late, jump here, and hit all these orbs pretty much. Hit this, hit this, hit that, and hit that. And that's basically that entire part. And now I'm gonna show it off in normal mode. And that's basically that part. You also kind of notice that I kind of jumped over that last pillar there. You can also do it that way. I sometimes just do that. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect how the gameplay is. All right, now it's time for the first ship. This ship is not that bad. So what you do is you want to hit that orb, uh, and just coast along here. Hit that orb, and you want to keep holding so that you go up between those spikes there, and then just go through the middle. That's not that bad. So to go through it again, you hit that. You want to hold there a bit by that orb, by the way. And just hold here, hold there, go between there, and center yourself in the middle, and that's it. Now I'm going to show that in normal mode. And that's that. All right, this UFO can be kind of tricky for the timings, but once you get it down and you practice it a bit, it's not that bad at all. And so here you want to hit both of these pink orbs, hit there, wait. So there you want to wait a bit for that yellow orb. That yellow orb, if you hit it too early, you'll just end up dying by a spike on the bottom. There. Do 2 clicks there. You want to do 2 clicks right here after you hit this yellow orb, because if you don't, you'll hit the gear. And now for this next part, you'll be mini, so I'll explain that as well. So wait, click there, skip that pink orb, go down here, and then click that blue orb. But you want to click that blue orb early, or else that will happen. You'll just end up dying. Click there, go through there, and then click the blue orb. And that's kind of how that part works. Also, the click before that, this blue orb right here, you want to make sure you go low enough, because if you won't, you'll hit spikes on the top where it's like poking out. So just be wary of that as well. All right, so next is one of the most learny parts of the level. This is the first duel, and this first duel is extremely learny. It took me a bit to learn it myself, but after you learn it, it's not too hard. It's just, it's very learny, and I'll show you how to do it. All right, so what you want to do is, so normally what would happen is, I would say more often than not, I end up going over this platform and hitting this gear. Usually this happens when you do not hit this yellow orb, although I guess in my case, because of the way I transitioned into this duel, it doesn't do that. So I would say more often than not, you want to make sure that you hit this yellow orb. like immediately. You want to like basically buffer it so you hit that platform there and you land on it like well. So after that, you want to do a jump there. I'd probably just buffer it and you'll be fine. Like that. Hit that yellow orb and then skip those pink orbs. Do not hit those pink orbs because if you hit those pink orbs, then you'll just end up dying. Wait, jump, and once you get there, you want to hit that singular pink orb. You want to hit that immediately, like immediately. If you do not hit it immediately, then you'll just end up hitting those spikes. I'll show you right now. So if you don't hit it immediately, you'll end up hitting those two spikes and you'll die. So you want this, hit it immediately. And then now next, these two jump rings, you want to wait a bit, and right when you land, you want to click so that they both like proc, because if you don't do that, if you like end up holding past this past instead, then you'll just end up jumping to this gear and you'll die. So let me show that here. Hit that there and you'll do that successfully. So now next, what I like to do is I like to hit that again. So what I did there is after hitting that pink orb, I click immediately right after so that this icon, sorry, I should put this on. This icon jumps and then this one doesn't. Because if this one jumps with it, then it'll just hit this spike and die. So the best way I would do that is just doing a like two like micro clicks there. So I'll show that again. There, like that. So you see how I did like two clicks at once there? Doing those two clicks meant that only that top cube jumped and not the bottom one. So next we have this part. There's a blue orb there. You don't have to hit it. In my experience, it doesn't really matter if you hit it or not. I usually just kind of ignore it. It's kind of easier to just ignore inputs. And now we have this part. This part is arguably the hardest part of this duel, this ship. So how would you control this ship? So the way I do it is I hold a bit and make the ship go lower. Like, you see how I'm making it go lower as I go through? You want to make it go lower so that it, like, curves around that gear. Because the reason why you want to do that is because the bottom cube, if you jump here, you'll just die. So you want to make sure the ship is high enough to where you can just kind of let it go. And then right when that cube drops off that platform, then you can start controlling the ship again. So wait, and then it drops, so I'm controlling the ship again. It's like that. So do it like this, drop, go, hold again, and if you keep holding, you'll make it there. I don't know why I stopped. So the thing to be careful about is it's really easy to go too high with the ship, or too low, sorry. Do not go too low with that ship, or else you'll just hit the gear. It's hard to get used to, but trust me, you will get used to it eventually, and it'll feel fine. Now I'm going to show that entire part in normal mode. I'm also going to be showing the click pattern for this, or I'm going to be like saying the click pattern out loud so you know what to do for the dual cube anyway. For the ship, it's not as important. Click, 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 click. And that's that part. That's how that goes. Really hard to learn at first, and it may seem very daunting, but I believe in you. You can do it. All right, so now for this next part, you have this UFO. Now, this UFO transition can be really weird depending on how you went into it. Sometimes what might happen is that the UFO, right when you get here, it'll just instantly go to the bottom and it'll slam into these spikes. So you want to make sure you're ready to react whenever that happens. It doesn't happen all the time because, I mean, quite frankly, there's a lot of transitions in this level that are really wonky, and this is one of them. And so this is kind of like this basic click patterns. Your click pattern in the beginning is going to change again depending on this transition, but what I basically do is I do this. I do wait a bit, click, 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 wait, click, 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 wait, click, 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 wait, click. And that's basically how you would do that part. That's really all there is to it. You just kind of have to know the click pattern, and if you're paying attention, it's not too bad. All right, now it's time to show this in normal mode. And that's that part. And again, remember that for the beginning with that transition, the click pattern may change a little bit depending on like how you went through it. All right, next we have this duel. Now this duel is nowhere near as hard as the first one, so I'll just show you how to do it. So for this first part here, click that blue orb, jump, click both of those orbs with the cube. So click here, jump, click, click, and you can see that this bottom one goes like through both orbs, and then it jumps over to here. And so for this next part, actually, um, this spike and this spike, they're both misaligned. So what you want to do is once you get here, once you go past this blue orb, you want to wait and just look up here so that you can time this one. It's better to time this one than timing this one, because if you try and look down here and time this one, you might end up hitting this spike and dying. It's like that. So click this, wait, and then click. There, that's important. You want to make sure you wait on that platform before you hit it. And also, I forgot here, you want to hold here, right there. So click that, and there you go. That's that part. It's really not that bad. Pretty easy duel compared to the last one. And now I'm gonna show it off in normal mode. All right, and that is that part in normal mode. All right, so for this next transition, what's going to end up happening is right after you click these orbs, you're going to go into a dual wave. But the issue with this wave is if you aren't holding down the button, 9 times out of 10, you will just end up dying immediately because the waves are going to hit like this corner and it'll instantly kill you. So before you go into this transition, make sure you're holding down the button. I'm going to show you what I mean right now. So hold, and as you can see, I go through there just fine. If I don't hold, however, I just die like that. So you want to make sure you're holding the button as you go through this transition, and you should be fine. So this next part here, this dual wave is a little tricky to like understand at first. But basically, I hold here, I wait until the top one goes like through here, and then I click, or not click, I do holds there. So wait, hold, 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 hold. And that's kind of how I do it. So as you might notice there in the beginning of this section, there's a fake here. This is fake. That's not a real block. If you try and go down like how you think you normally would, you would just die to those invisible blocks, as you can see right here. If I do that, you'll just die. So normally what you might see people doing is you might see them do like this or something. Personally, I don't like doing that. I think it's way more consistent to just kind of treat it as just a normal hold like all the other ones. So you'll hold, wait, hold, 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 hold. That is how I would do it. I think it's a lot more consistent that way. So do it however you want, but personally, I think that's just a way better way to like do it. Okay, this next part, it doesn't really matter what you pay attention to. You just kind of have to hold it at like the proper time. It's really not that bad. Usually for that part, I just focus on the bottom, but you can also focus on the top, and you know the opposite wave will follow suit. So I'll do hold, 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 do a little bit of spam, and then go up. And that is that wave part. So now I'm going to show it off in normal mode. And there you go. That is the wave part. All right, next, this ball. This ball can be kind of tricky, honestly. The timings are a little tough there, but it's not like that bad. You'll see. All right, so wait until the last second. Then you want to hit that to not hit that like invisible spike there. This orb here, you want to hit that late. You want to hit that very late. So, you know, like that. That can get me sometimes. You have to hit it late in order to make it through. After that, just wait, hit that, and it hit that orb. Not that bad. I'm probably not even gonna show in normal mode. I think it's like pretty simple. All right, so for this next ship, you just want to make sure you go up as fast as you can, like as soon as possible, so that you can make it to the bottom there. Timing this can be kind of tricky, but it's kind of all there is to it. Just make sure you do that ship. You go down as quickly as possible, and you should be good. All right, this wave can be kind of weird. So with these spikes right here, these may look inactive, but they're not. They are hitboxes. So don't get fooled by them. Just make sure you're waving through you know, as much best as you can, and you should be able to get through it just fine. Um Hold on, let's go back a bit. So you want to spam here, you go upside down, and then you go that way. There's not really much to explain there. It's just, you know, normal wave stuff. You just gotta be good with the wave. All right, so for the ship, the thing about that ship is, as you can see, there are solid block hitboxes here, meaning that you can actually rest. You don't have to like hold it or anything to like go through. You can just rest here, and you want to wait for this yellow jump orb, and you want to like click the yellow jump orb and also hold at the same time. So here, wait, hold, and then steady yourself, like through there, do a little bit of straight fly, and that's basically the entire ship part. It's really, really easy. So you want to make sure you hit this orb, hit the orb. There's an orb inside here. You want to make sure you hit that. So then here you'll land there, and there you can see that there is an orb on the ceiling here, and you want to be able to hit this orb. You could see it pretty easily if you have effects on, so make sure you have effects on here. Hit that, hit that. There's a blue orb inside of here, and you want to make sure that you click that as well. All right, time for what is arguably one of the hardest parts of the level, in my opinion. So this next part is going to be a lot of spamming involved, and the way that you spam has to be kind of specific, at least from my experience. I'm not sure if this is different before 2.2. This could be a 2.2 like issue, but doing the spam is can be pretty tough, and I'm just gonna show it off. So click here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, like just spam. It's just spam. So the issue I have with the spam though is that you can possibly hit that orb late, like I did there, and you can hit this side. This is my biggest problem with the spam, and I have not really like found a definitive way to get through it normally, like or like consistently. So the best thing I do here is for the let's go back to the beginning here. So for here, I try and hit these a little late. I find out if I go up here later than usual, it helps with hitting that orb properly. Because the issue arises when you're spamming and then you miss the orb timing. You have to hit that orb as soon as possible to like get down like that. It can be very inconsistent. So that I would say that part is one of the only parts that I feel like is just genuinely very inconsistent. So I would try and go later. I feel like going like a late here is gives you the best chance of getting through it. So there you go. Anyone here? After that, you want to click here immediately. Now, I have another problem with this. It's not as severe as this one here, but sometimes when you click this, you may end up just kind of dying. I have no clue why this happens. I'm pretty sure it's a bug. It's pretty unfortunate, but you know, you're just gonna have to deal with it. It kind of sucks dying here, but you know, you can't really do anything about it. Just make sure you click. Just make sure you click that blue orb and just kind of hope that you get through like that. Click that blue orb. After that, you have to this spam bit here, and that's it for that part. But one thing I do want to show is so for setup for this next UFO section here, I would make sure that you don't hit this yellow orb because sometimes hitting that yellow orb can like mess up how you transition into this next part and can like make the clicks for this part here a little more annoying and you could possibly die. So when you do this spam here, just make sure you miss this yellow orb because there's already like an invisible ramp here kind of holding you up. You want to make sure you're on the ground by the time the UFO is here and you're not like too high up. It'll make this part a lot easier, trust me. All right, now I'm going to show that part in normal mode. And that's that part in normal mode. All right, next is just this UFO. This UFO is really easy. It's just simple clicks, and I'll just kind of go through the click pattern. Click, 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 wait, click, wait, click. And that's basically it. It's a really easy part. I'll show it in normal mode. It's not too hard. Pretty simple. In general, I would say the second half of this level is easier, unless you're pretty bad with the ship, and you're gonna see why in a bit here. All right, so for this next part, this is literally just pure memorization. Just kind of follow what I do. Jump over that pad, hit those orbs, and when you get to there, and when you get to this jump, make sure you jump late, because if you don't, these icons here will just smash into the wall. So make sure you hit this late. That's probably the only thing I would say you make sure you do. But other than that, just make sure that you have that part memorized. All right, as for these next parts here, these gears, their hitbox is really not that bad. So just hit as late as you can, as late as you possibly can. You can go later than you think because if you don't, you'll end up hitting these spikes instead. So late, late, hit that orb. And that's basically it for that duel. All right, next is what I would consider a harder part of the level for me personally, because now you're going to be dealing with not only mini ship, but dual mini ship. And dual mini ship is very heavy. This looks easy, and it kind of is after a while of practicing, but it's actually pretty hard because of how heavy the ship physics are. So what I like to do is when you're going through these gears, I like to kind of like hook around it, like as I'm going through them for each one. I feel like that makes it easier than just trying to like straight fly into them. And I'm going to show you what I mean in a bit. So here, I go through there, and what I mean is I wait here and then I go up like that. I make like a little hill or like whatever. I find that easier than just like trying to like straight fly into it like this. I think it's a lot more consistent. I think you have more control. and it just works a lot better. But you can do whatever you want, whatever suits you fancy. So for this next part, I would recommend staying a bit high here. And the reason why I say that is because there are these gears in the bottom that can potentially kill you when you're not paying attention. Like if you're paying attention to the bottom one, like me, when you're coasting along here, this top gear could potentially kill this one. So in order to avoid that altogether, just kind of stay near the middle here for a bit as you go through this part. So next, after this, I just wait here. I do a little hook there. I wait, and then I do a hook right here, and that's basically that entire part. Again, the ship physics are very heavy, so it looks easy, but it really isn't, especially if you aren't good with ship. I'm gonna show off like these next few sections I just went through. I'm gonna show them off in normal mode now. And that's that. All right, next I would say we have what is probably one of the hardest parts of the level, especially if you're not good at ship. So I'm just gonna go through and try and explain how I do it. So this ship is really difficult. So the thing with here, oh, hold on. The thing with here, right, is that you want to go through this gap. This is a fake wall, and you want to just kind of coast along through it. What I recommend doing is I recommend trying your hardest to like squeeze through the middle without bumping into anything, especially the slope here. I find that bumping into stuff here kind of throws off like the rest of my brain, and it could cause me to mess up later. So I think it's just the most consistent to just try and squeeze through here in order to like have a smooth have smooth sailing, so you're not like bumping into stuff and like messing with your mind. I'm gonna show what I mean. So like if I hit here, you see that will potentially like throw you off. So I try to avoid that as much as I can. I just try and just, go on coast and not bump on anything. After that, it's kind of just skill. Like, there's not much I can really say about this part here. It's really tight and it's really hard, but with enough practice, you can probably get through it somewhat consistently. Now that you go through the straight fly, hit this orb. When you get here, the second you hit the ceiling, like maybe wait a split second after, but like essentially, the second you hit the ceiling, you want to let go. You don't want to hold this too far because if you hold it too far, you'll end up either missing this orb completely, or when you hit this orb, you'll hit this spike, and you don't want that to happen, obviously. So what I do is I let go immediately, and then I hit that to go as high as I can to get there. Now I'm going to show what happens when you don't do that. Hold like that, and then that will happen. You can either that will happen, or hold on, or you'll just. Sometimes I do end up hitting missing the orb entirely, but basically what I'm saying: do not hit that late. You want to go as early as possible, like that, and you will get through that guaranteed. Now I'm gonna show off that entire mini ship there in normal mode. And that's basically it for that. All right, now for this last part. This last part is mainly just kind of memorization and also ship skill. It's pretty tight, but again, if you can get through this part here, then you can probably get through this as well. All right, so just follow my lead. Go up, here, go down, squeeze through here, go up like this, go to the middle, and then go up again, and that's pretty much the part. Going anywhere else will kill you. All right, so one thing I do want to know is the hitboxes in this are very weird. So as you can see, there is a solid hitbox here. You think this is a ramp, but there's actually just a solid block hitbox here. And what could happen is if you're going up like this, you can end up landing on it. And sometimes when I land on it, I either run into this gear and instantly die, or I end up surviving. But I would try your best to not hit this. So when you're coasting along here, you want to go a little higher than usual, or you want to like stay in the air a little longer and then let go so that you can not hit this. So like that. You don't want to hit that. I'm going to show what happens if you do hit that. So there, as you can see, I ended up just kind of sliding and going down. However, this could mess with you. So again, what I would recommend doing is I would just recommend going high enough to where you do not hit it at all. And you can just coast along here, and that's fine. So I'm going to be showing that off with full speed. And that's basically that part. It's not that bad. It is tricky because of the, ship gameplay and all. But again, I think you can do it. All right, so this next this next wave, apologies. This next wave is pretty simple. It's literally just timings. So you just want to time the clicks and hold to go through those gears per swiftly. There's not really much I can say. That's all there is. You just kind of have to practice it to get the timing right. So there's one thing here about this part though. When you're here, you want to make sure you hold for long enough to where you can enter this corridor. Because what has happened to me sometimes is I'll hold only for a bit and then I'll go down and I'll hit this side here. So you want to make sure you're holding for a bit longer than like, these indicators like tell you. It's just to make sure you get into this pad corridor safely like that. And that's how that part is done. So one thing before I start talking about this section, this is the final ship section, and also one of the final parts of the level. A problem I have with this corridor is that sometimes with the way you go into it, you can sometimes hit this reverse portal and not be reverted back to like to upright. So you can go through this first part upside down, which can severely throw you off. So when you go through this ship part here, I would make sure, right, that you click. Because if you click, you'll almost guarantee that you won't accidentally hit like that yellow portal down there. Like, again, if you go through it wrong, you will end up hitting that yellow portal and not be switching back. All right, so now for this last part, it's literally just kind of like ship skill. It can be kind of difficult, like going through here. That is a little tight, but if you can do everything else in the level, you can probably do it as well. And it's pretty chill. It's not like super like difficult. It's just kind of make sure you're paying attention and you go through that ship part just fine. And now for this final cube, we just do timings like that, and that's pretty much it for the level. That's the entire level. Although I am gonna like show off the rest of that in normal mode real quick. And that's the level. One thing I want to know is these timings. Just be careful with these timings. Since you're at the end of the level, your nerves are probably going to be at an all-time high. So you want to make sure that you're timing these properly. I know that people have died here often. So, just make sure that you're calm, cool, and collected when you go through this last part. And if you do that right, you'll be done with the level. That is the entire level. So that is all the tips that I can give for this level. Good luck if you're trying to beat it. But now I'm gonna be going through and actually recording my completion of this level and also my progress as I make it through. Yeah, you may be wondering why I actually made a tutorial if I haven't actually beaten the level yet. Well, I practiced it a lot, and I think I am ready to actually beat it, so I think I know a lot. So before I actually do this, I'm gonna go through one more practice run just to make sure I'm ready. Alright, I think I'm ready. Let's do this, let's do this. And that was my first death. Well, not my first death, but that's my first new best. 14%. Damn, I went too far down. Dang it, man. Ugh. Damn, 32. I'm like baby steps. It's like baby steps. I'm getting there. I will get you 100%. Oh my god. See, that's what I mean. Like that UFO, you'll just hit the bottom immediately. It's oh my god. Oh, damn. Yeah, so you could hit that too late, and that's what happened. I hit that way too late. Oh my goodness. What the? I've never died there. That's a new bug. Damn. Wow. Wow. 1 extra %. That is hilarious. Oh no, I got hit with the freaking bug. No, man, that sucks. Dang. After this spam, I feel like I have a really good chance of being the level. Oh, I hate that that happened. No. Ah. 67. Finally, I got through that spam. I spent so long trying to get through that spam. Finally, some progress. Oh my god. 74. Oh, yeah, this mini ship. I knew I was gonna die here. This mini ship is so hard. Really? No, dude. The freaking inverted slab. There's more of these. I forgot. That's so lame. No. No, I got hit. No, this stupid inverted slant. I knew that was gonna happen. It's so hard to like go over it properly. Damn it, dude, you can't be serious. I did it! Woo, I did it! Yes! Yes! Finally! Oh my god, I've been here for like 3 hours, dude! Yes! 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 Oh my god! Finally! Finally! Oh, oh my god. I did it. I did it. I did the ultimate phase. Yes. Okay. That took a while. That took so long, dude. I was going crazy. I was going mad. Yes. All right, so I got 1,614 attempts. Oh yeah, and let me check my so 635, so that's like over 2,000 or something. You know, you can probably do the math yourself. I don't really care. I'm just glad I did it. Oh, finally. Yes. So yeah, the ultimate phase. Um, Pretty challenging level. Obviously, it's an extreme demon. I think I like the level, but there's definitely a lot of problems I have with it. Mainly with like some bugs and some transitions. Like that transition from that first duel to the UFO, like that UFO killed me so many times when I started recording. It was actually driving me up the wall, dude. It was driving me up the wall. And like part after the ball part after the dual wave, That part also killed me a lot. It was like those two parts in particular that I didn't think were gonna be that hard to do at first, but like they proved to be really annoying as I kept trying to beat the level. I kept dying at those spots a lot. I did not think it was gonna be that difficult. I generally think I died there on those two spots more than I did the duels. The duels, while they're very learny, they're really not that bad. I know it looks really hard, but like once you learn it, it's not that bad. It's just simple click patterns, and that's it. But with those, it's like since they're very timings based, there's a lot of like room for error. There's a lot of room for error in those. The timings you have to be on point. And the spam, dude, that spam I was losing my mind because every time I would go through the spam, I would get killed by the ramp after hitting that blue orb, and that it happened like 5 times. Drove me insane each time. I hated when that happened. That sucked so much. Then there's also the mini ship at the end. The mini ship at the end, oh boy, it didn't kill me that much because in general I didn't get there as much before I beat the level, but that part is really hard. You have to be very focused for that, and I was very scared at the end. I'm still shaking from the fact that I could have died at the end. Like it's very easy to mess up that last ship and those last cube jumps, especially when you have nerves, man. Oh, it was bad. Overall, I'd say like the first half of this level is way harder than the second half. The second half could probably be harder if you're not as good as ship, but I'd say I'm pretty like decent at ship. I'm not the best at mini ship, but I think I'm still good enough to where I didn't find it as big of a problem as like the first half. The first half is a lot more like timings based, there's a lot more timings, and I'm like, although I am pretty good at timings, there's a lot more. Again, that just leaves more room for error. It was very tough trying to get through the first half. That's where a majority of my deaths were. Majority of my deaths were before, or like the spam and before. That's where all my deaths mainly were. I think I only got past the spam like at least like maybe like 10 times trying to record this. Like that was it. All the other deaths I had, that was just in the first half. It was absolutely crazy. Anyway, that's it for this guide slash completion level. Not level, completion video. If you enjoyed and you want to see me do more guides and stuff, then consider liking and subscribing or something, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna force you to, but it'd be nice. Anyway, that's really it. I'm gonna go rest now. This took me 3 hours. It was insane. Anyway, bye.